Well, as this case is building up in 2006, the CFO of BMF, the guy who did all the financials, he ends up flipping as well.
Yeah.
And gives the DEA and IRS all the BMF's books and financial records. Did you know Doc Marshall at all?
Doc Marshall. I think I knew him, but I can't remember right now. I didn't know him personally.
Okay. And then more people start getting busted. J-Bo gets busted. Wayne Joyner, a.k.a. the Waniac, gets busted, and so forth. And, essentially it gets down to the point where Big Meech and Southwest T are getting ready to go to trial. They put them in the same room together. They start to scream at each other and argue, but eventually they all agree to all plead guilty, to both of them pleading guilty, which they do. And then on September 12th, 2008, the judge sentenced Big Meech and Southwest T to 30 years in prison.
Yeah, I was actually, when they were supposed to have been going at it like that, I actually had went down to the courthouse that day because I was going to represent them and all that, but I ended up had to leave before all that happened. But I heard that it happened, and yeah, they got the 30 years, which was going against the RICO law. It's a blessing and a curse because the RICO law is life, but then they got 30 years, so you basically still then lost your life. So it was a sad day to me.
Yeah, 30 years. These guys were, I think, in their 30s at the time.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. And I guess the reason why Meech took that plea deal was that there was actually a chance of him getting out early if he took that 30 years. If he went to trial and he blew it, then he would get a life sentence with no possibility of ever getting out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know nothing about that. All I know is they got 30 years. From my understanding, they had to do 28 of that before they got out.
Well, in 2016, there was a guy affiliated with BMF named Ricky McFarland, a.k.a. Slick.
Mm-hmm.
You know who that is?
No. The BMF part, like Atlanta and all them, I don't know none of them. All the Detroit people from BMF, I know all them.
Well, this is a Detroit guy.
Okay, Ricky McFarland.
Ricky McFarland, yeah. He was actually convicted in the Motor City Mafia case. And I guess once he gets out, him and an NFL guy named Robert Edens end up getting killed in a drug deal.
Okay, I know what you're talking about, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was the drug deal going bad.
Right.
Yeah, they was in the basement, the NFL guy, they was trying to do a drug deal, and the guys came from out of town and killed them, left them in the basement. They caught them guys.
Okay, so you knew these guys.
Yeah, I knew him now. I had to remember, I had to think about when you said that. I remember it now.
Okay, and eventually the Detroit guys, that were indicted and convicted during that whole BMF era, they started to come out and get back into Detroit and so forth. Once these guys started getting back in the system, how was it for them?
I really couldn't tell you how it was when, most of the guys that came back in BMF, or when they got out when they got out of prison.
Right.
Most of them, like I said, they were like party promoters and promoting stuff, and they all came back to society. From what I seen, they all were doing pretty good to me. I don't know what they were doing, which is not my business to say. I don't know what they could have been doing, but I know a couple of them have like car washes and all that, so they were doing pretty good. We hustlers. We could make, you go to jail, we ain't fall down and can't get back up. We get back up and get back up good.
Right. And this whole time, you've left the whole street life alone and you just went to work a regular job?
I went to work construction when I got out of prison. And when I first got out of prison, it was hard because, they ain't want to, hire no felons and all that. But I ended up going to a construction site, and I lied, and I ended up getting a job making $28 an hour. So I figured that, and then I was working all all over Detroit and all that, so I was making good money. And then I didn't have that worry about if somebody, because at one point in my life, everywhere I had to go, I had to, like, if I went to the bathroom, I had to have a gun. If I went to a restaurant, I got to have a gun, or you got to have somebody, a bodyguard with, when I was in that life back then. This was the first time I walked down the street one day, and then, nobody never bothered me. I mean, it was just like the freshest feeling in the world. No stress.
Yeah, I mean, people always like to glorify the drug dealer life when the reality is the level of stress you have to go through in order to make that money 99% of the time is not worth it.
I'm going to tell you like this. If you want to be a drug dealer, the drug dealer is the worst job in the world. See, what the drug dealers show you right now is, oh, I got all the women, the pretty women. Oh, you get the best women in the world. You get the best cars. You get the flyest suits and all that. But you don't see that guy that's laying in your garage at night, so, who trying to wait on you. You don't see them trying to kidnap their family. You don't see people shooting at you. You don't see people trying, and they do anything, putting bombs under your car and all types of, you don't see the stress and the jealousy. The jealousy is what messes up the dope game, because you could be right here and selling drugs and have a Benz, and you could be the other guy on the other side selling drugs with a Lamborghini, and the guy with the Lamborghini hate the guy with the Benz. And y'all making the same money. Why he hating it? Because this woman like him better than her. The dumbest shit in the world. It's enough money for everybody. It's enough money for everybody. If I can go make $100,000 tonight, you can make it too. But I can lose it too. Because you ever notice most dope men always, like, they so stressed out, they make $100,000. You done made it. Go home. You go to the gambling joint and lose $100,000. Now you got to go back out here and try to make it back. Nah, this might be the day you die.
Well, I think that it's that mentality of, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to go to prison for the rest of my life or I'm going to get killed. So if I have this money right now, there's no long-term planning for it. Let me just have fun as much as possible, because my next 20 years might be in a cage.
Okay, if your next 20 years in the cage and you got that money and you got somebody that's in your family that you can trust, bump all that, well, I'm going to take it with me. I'm going to go spend it all night. Buy your mama a house. Buy your sister a house. Buy some property. Buy a car or something. Buy some stocks. Do something like that. Go start a business. Don't take that money, then go blow $20,000 in the strip club because you going to jail Monday. You might put that money up, and your people might take that money you get them and put it in some stocks like Walmart or something, and you come back and you a millionaire. But no, you didn't want to spend it on Delicious and all them.
Yeah.
Now you broke.